Good morning, friends. Today is Friday, October 28th, I believe. And I just woke up. I feel like I definitely have a little bit of a cold, but that's okay. I'm about to go make coffee and start getting ready for the day. So there's that. But it's been a little bit since I just recorded kind of right as I woke up, so I thought I'd check in with you guys. I'm planning on streaming more Pokemon Fire Red tonight, so, doesn't matter in this video, but I figured I'd let you guys know. So, yeah, expect more Pokemon videos in the pipeline. Well, day 28 has come and gone in a flash, which is to be expected, because time tends to fly particularly fast when you're not paying attention, or when you're paying just enough attention to where it's not ridiculously slow. I feel like that's kind of what doing these vlogs has done. It's made me sort of realize how quickly time can pass. And I guess that's a normal thing. You know, we're at the end of October. In just a couple days, we'll be in November. Or just a few days, rather. If you want to get technically specific about the terminology. But it's crazy to think. We are a good chunk into fall already. Winter will be here before you know it. But I guess I just kind of want to take time to reflect on the month. I was thinking about it earlier while I was making my evening coffee. Oh yeah, I should mention it. It's after midnight now, so it's technically the 29th, but, you know, it's all the same. But while I was making my evening coffee, I was thinking about the vlogs I've filmed throughout the month of October. And it made me realize how much has happened throughout the month. Like, even the beginning of it was quite eventful. You know, you look back at my first vlog, that was when Kayla went to the hospital for iron deficiency and things like that. And then, you know, new games came out. Persona 5 Royal came out on all consoles not that long ago. I started up a, not necessarily a new Let's Play, but a live stream series that I intend on doing more of, but I don't want to overdo it and get burnt out, so I might stream more tomorrow night. I was planning on doing it tonight, but ended up getting sick, so I didn't want to overexert myself. But it's been a long month. A lot of bad things have happened, and I don't want to get into detail to a lot of them, but at the same time a lot of good has happened, and I'm also grateful for the bad that's happened. The root of all suffering that I mentioned in yesterday's vlog, it's the attachment to expectation. I definitely understand that, especially going through some of the more negative things in life. The attachment to expectation can be good or bad expectations, and that's something I learned. A lot of our suffering comes from, you know, maybe we expect something to be good and then it turns out bad. Or if maybe we're expecting the worst to happen and then we end up feeling awful about it, we stress over something far longer than we need to. And that's something I think I've started learning, especially this month. A lot of rough things have been going on. But I'm still here, I'm still me, and at the end of the day, I guess that's what matters. It's like that one line in Undertale that everyone knows by this point, because it's basically like an uplifting meme when you look into the mirror. It's, you know, at the beginning of the game, it's like, it's you, and then at the end of the game, it's like, despite all you've been through, it's still you. And that is completely true. Life does have a way of changing us, but it can't change who we are at our core. At our core, we are a lot stronger than we might think. We're a lot more resilient. We are a lot more emotionally mature than we may portray ourselves as, or we may believe ourselves as being. At least, that's what I'd like to believe. And sorry for my pauses, I'm trying to think about how to actually word my thoughts. You know, like I said, this vlog is the equivalent of a journal, so if I'm trying to talk about something, I want to get it out clearly. Also, I took a long nap earlier, so my mind is a little clearer than it normally is at this time of night. But I guess it's just made me think a lot about, you know, our inner strength and our place in the universe, the meaning of life, all that stuff. And I talked about that already, about that soul video, and about how the meaning of life is just existence. Simply being here in the moment, enjoying the company of people you love, enjoying good food, listening to great music. Oh man. So before today got kind of a little on the rough side, I was spending my morning listening to some really good music. I listened to like my Falcon playlist. I have a lot of music from the Trails and Ease series, and just sitting there listening to the music and remembering that, you know, human beings wrote those, human beings played the instruments in those songs, made me feel a lot more connected to the actual music itself. It made me remember the experience of being human and being able to briefly walk or briefly live in or embody the spirit of who composed the song by listening to it, if that makes any sense. It made me feel, I want to say happy, but I feel like it's a little bit more of a complicated emotion that it made me feel. It gave me a sense of connection in general. Music is one of the greatest forms of magic. I've said it multiple times, not necessarily on camera, but in my writings, in the game I'm making. I genuinely believe music is a form of magic. It has a way of teleporting you elsewhere. It has a way of bringing you down or making you feel uplifted. Just like words. Words have the power to either harm or heal. They can mend or break. We as humans are a lot stronger than we give ourselves credit for, and I feel like that's an important responsibility to acknowledge. It also just kind of makes me feel nice, you know? It makes me realize that not everything is in vain just because everything will come to an end someday. Even if I'm not some big famous author, my words have touched the lives of, you know, some people. My music has made some people happy. My music's made me happy. My writing has made me happy. It's also brought me a lot of despair, which any author would understand, but that's just part of the human experience. It's okay to not feel okay, and that's an important lesson I've been learning myself. And I hope to impart that to you guys as well. Don't feel bad if you don't always feel okay. Optimism and positivity are not the same thing, so it's okay to not be positive all the time. Optimism is the strength to get through negative things, to understand that the negative things you are experiencing will pass eventually. It doesn't mean being happy all the time. God, imagine trying to be happy all the time. I'm sure someone knows that. I'm sure someone knows that feeling, how exhausting it is. I couldn't do it. I deal with too much mental crap to try being happy all the time. And I've tried. It just doesn't work. But that's okay. We're only human. Give yourself some credit for still being here, for still being a functioning human. And I use the term functioning very loosely, because your definition of a functioning human may be, oh, I got my life together, you know, I got a good paying job, I have a house I have a roof over my head, you know, all that crap. But sometimes you might not be that well off, and that's okay. If you don't have if you don't have the monetary success, I guess, of what you consider to be a functioning human being, that's alright. What matters is that you're still here, and you're listening to the words of some crazy person who's also struggling in the ether. We're all in this boat together, so don't feel, or try to remember that you're not alone in this. Remember that you are loved. I hope you had a good day, and like always, I will see you guys tomorrow.